Hey everybody, Myan with the Burton Realty Group, and today we're going to talk a little bit about kitchen remodels. My wife Anna and I just completed a kitchen remodel on our home. Our home was built in 1979. The kitchen cabinets were original to the house. The countertops have been replaced sometime in the last 15 years, but the entire thing needed to be redone. We had kitchen drawers that were just literally falling apart and doors that were coming apart and falling off the hinges. And so we've been in this home since the end of October last year and decided that we needed to remodel this kitchen sooner as opposed to later. You'll see a few photos of the before here in just a second. As we went through this process, I learned an awful lot of great tips I'm going to pass on to you on things that you should be thinking about if you're going to be doing a kitchen remodel or really any type of remodel on your home. So let's dive right in. The first thing that I learned is hiring a great contractor can make all the difference in the world. Having the right contractor, somebody that you like, somebody that you can work with, somebody who's patient enough to answer questions, give you suggestions, knows what's going on in the industry and what the trends are, can make all the difference in the decisions you make and the choices you make on the type of kitchens, cabinets, countertops, and everything else that's going to go into that kitchen for you. So spend some time and interview a number of different contractors, get some referrals, talk with them, and make sure that there's somebody that you like and somebody you can work with, and that they're going to give you some great advice about their experience and what they're seeing in the industry. The next part about this whole process is take your time to plan it out. My wife does a great job about planning through this process. We thought a lot about it, who we're going to have over, what kind of events are we going to entertain with, how are we going to use the kitchen, what do we want that kitchen to look like, and how do we want it to feel. Those are all concerns, colors, products, styles, all things that you should be considering as you go through this process. So take your time. We looked at a lot of magazines. We went to a lot of design showrooms to get some ideas about what's available out there, talking to the cabinet contractor and designer. He gave us a lot of really good feedback of what he was seeing and how people would normally use kitchens, specific type of cabinets and heights and those kind of things. So make sure you spend your time. There's no reason to rush into this. You're going to spend an awful lot of money. It's a small fortune to redo a kitchen. Make sure you get it right. Make sure you find something that you really like, color-wise, and the way you're going to use that kitchen. A couple things on the contractor that I would highly recommend is that they're upfront with their pricing. They're willing to give you a lot of information and advice, answer your questions, and answer questions again, and communicate with you. And make sure there's an open dialogue of communication. You don't want somebody that's going to push you into something that you really don't want just because they want to hurry up and get the job done. Another thing that you really need to take into consideration is your budget. You can spend a ton of money on a kitchen, and you may not get your money back out of that, depending on what you put into it. So make sure you have a budget. Again, on the budget side of things, make sure you're thinking of spending probably 10, 15, maybe even 20% over that budget for unexpected repairs, upgrades, and issues that you find during the demolition and prep work, getting the kitchen ready for the new cabinets. One of the things that we found out was that we had to move a sink from one wall into the island where we wanted it to ultimately be. In that process, we originally thought we could come into and move that plumbing by going through the floor. Come to find out, we had to go through the ceiling of the basement underneath the kitchen in order to get that plumbing moved correctly. Wasn't ideal for what we initially thought we wanted, but it worked out great. But again, there's a little bit more expense in doing that because we had to do some drywall and some sheetrock and stuff like that to make that all pretty again after we had torn into it. If you're challenged at all with picking out colors, flooring, wall, paint, cabinet colors, you may consider hiring or consulting with an interior designer. These interior designers have great ideas and can give you a great color palette to work off of based on what you really want to see happen in that space at the end. So don't be afraid to go find somebody who will consult with you for a couple hours and give you some ideas on different colors. The next thing that I really learned is timing is crucial. We had heard horror stories of people doing kitchen remodels and taking 2 and 3 months, and that just didn't sound like fun for us. We've been doing a lot of remodel in our home already as it is, and we didn't want to spend 2 or 3 months going through a remodel process that could take a lot less time. So when you're going through this process, be very clear on expectations with your contractors, for timing, what they realistically believe will happen as far as when you order your cabinets and when those cabinets will be delivered, and how long it's going to take to get countertops and backsplash and flooring, whatever else you're going to be doing. Make sure you have that all planned out. Communication with your contractors in this part of it can make all the difference in the world. We spent about 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks, going through the entire remodel, which is pretty quick for a kitchen remodel. But a lot of that had to do with, we stacked those days up, and we're very tight on our deadlines in expecting the contractors to complete their work on time. Fortunately, it all worked out really well for us. We weren't feeling like we had a torn up kitchen for weeks on end and couldn't use the kitchen. So make sure you spend the time and discussing with your contractors what that timing needs to look like, from the demo to the cabinet install, to the countertop install, the backsplash, the flooring, paint, whatever else that you need to do, the lighting. That all takes time, and you want to make sure you get that as close as you possibly can, so you're not working or living in an unfinished kitchen for weeks on end. Another thing that's really, really important as you go through this in communication is your expectations and what the contractor feels that they can do. You want to make a list of all the things that you want that kitchen to look like and what you want to have in it. From lighting, to flooring, to paint color, to position of cabinets, to height of cabinets, to whether you have a light rail for under cabinet lighting, all those things, the handle pulls, all that stuff needs to go into it, and you need to have a conversation with the contractor about every little detail. The more detail you can give them, the better they will be able to do their work, and they have a better concept of what you want overall. One of our concerns, or one of our challenges that we faced, was a little bit of lack of communication on a couple items that delayed us a little bit, and the initial tear out and prep work came right down to literally the hour that the cabinets were delivered. Our contractor was finishing up the prep work for those cabinets to be installed. So the very hour that those things came in caused a little bit of stress. So be sure you have that conversation with your contractor and they know exactly what your expectations are, and then hold them to it. Finally, have fun with the kitchen remodel. This is a fun process. You're not going to do this every year to your house. There's a lot of expense and time involved in creating a new kitchen, but have some fun with it. Think about how you want to use those rooms and who you want to entertain and what kind of memories you want to make, and have some fun putting that together. It's a great process. And when you get done, you'll be able to enjoy that kitchen, that dining room, whatever you're doing, for years to come. It's a major investment, but it's also a great return on value and gives you an opportunity to really put your character and the things that you want into a kitchen and into your home. If you have any questions about how to get started, what you need to be thinking about, projects that you want to do in your home and how that will impact your home's value, feel free to give me a call. Love to chat with you about those, give you some advice, give you some contractors information that we've used that will help you make your next remodel a success. We look forward to talking to you soon.